Hello everyone, Laura K. Buzz here, and as you can see, I've gotten an early copy of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, the new Yakuza JRPG title with Ichiban as one of the main characters. Got an early copy for review. Not super early, I've gotten it a little bit before release, which means I don't have time to do a full accessibility review, but I did want to do like a very quick video just showing off some of the accessibility settings options available, just so that, like, hey, if you're thinking of picking this up, you can see before you buy what settings are available. Now, the first setting here, I'm honestly kind of disappointed by, because it does not do what I thought it did. This is my second time recording this, I went and tested it. There is an option to turn off action prompts. These are basically button time prompts where you can deal extra damage during attacks. It might be like, oh, mash square during this attack, or press triangle at a specific timing, and you'll do some extra damage. I assumed turn action prompts off would maybe be an accessibility setting to be like, hey, those prompts don't show up, you don't have to do those timing things, you just deal the extra damage, you know, regardless. No. All it does is it assumes that you fail every one of those action prompts. It doesn't show you the prompts, it doesn't let you try doing the prompts, and it just gives you the reduced damage on all attacks. You really might as well leave it on, even if you are very bad at doing the action prompts, just on the off chance that you once in a while succeed. There is no benefit to turning off the action prompts if you struggle with them, which is really disappointing. Beyond that, battle speed, you can slow things down a bit during combat. You know, slows down camera movement, gives you more of a pause between character actions. This setting is more minimal than I expected. It sounds nice on paper, it doesn't slow things down very much, and it's largely a turn-based game, so there's not as much benefit here as there would be in, say, if this had been offered in one of the more action, real-time combat-focused Like a Dragon games. You can turn off vibration, you can turn off the fancy resistive triggers if you're on PlayStation 5. As default, the camera will sometimes automatically move. You can turn that off if you want it to be manual only, but as default, it does a little bit of auto camera. Camera controls in first and third person you can invert. Camera speed you can tweak. Minimap is on by default. You can either have it so the minimap rotates as your character rotates, or you can have it on fixed so it's always facing north as at the top of the minimap, whatever your preference is. Subtitles. There are larger subtitle size options. I appreciate that. I'll show you the subtitle size in a second if I can. You can change subtitle color, names of speakers in subtitles, speaker names, the color of the text of speaker names. You can have a thing that displays when you can skip subtitles. You can put a dark background behind the subtitles to make them more readable. You can change the text size in conversation windows, which is nice. If you don't like blood, you can turn it down a little. Nice one that I did not expect to see, swap left and right stick functionality. You can display all of the UI information, or you can like hide it if you know what you're doing. You can just sort of minimize your HUD if you want it to be a little cleaner visually. There are some colorblind filters with different strengths of filter that you can play around with available. What else is there? You've got your general sliders for audio volume stuff. You get a little bit of adjustment for how the sound is mixed. You can remap all of your buttons. You can change the text language. You can change the audio language. That's basically everything. Let me hop into a game that is like pretty early in the story. This is nothing too spoilery has happened yet, just so I can find an example of some subtitles, ideally. And that's about all we're gonna do. Let me run to this fight I can see over the road, so that I can demonstrate quickly the action prompts, so you can see what it is that gets turned off. If we do this attack, it wants me to mash square, I believe, and I get a boost of damage. I get that little plus damage up. That's just not offered to me if I turn off action prompts. It doesn't give me the extra damage, it just assumes I failed it, which is a shame. Can I find subtitles? I know that I'm heading to a plot location that has subtitles, so like, give me a moment. We'll probably cut forward slightly and I'll show you that. Well, very quickly, I did mention that you could have the minimap not be in a fixed orientation. Here's an example of what that looks like compared to fixed, which I'll hop back to in a moment. Of note, there are no longer... there's no difficulty modes in this, but one thing I do like that seems to be the case is that the way that your stat increases works has been changed slightly, in that now general character level ups are mostly how your stats improve, and job level ups not so much, which means that if you want to swap job class, you're not giving up a bunch of stats in the process. You can swap job classes a little more easily without worrying that you're gonna lose stats for a while as a result. So yeah, very quickly, without spoiling too much, we will see some subtitles on screen in a second, while I try not to spoil the plot. There you go, speaker names in red.
You come here straight from work?
Solid black background behind the subtitles, reasonably large text, good readable font.
Bartender, another round. On me.
So yeah, there's probably more stuff to talk about, and I will maybe do a follow-up video on this at some point later, but I just wanted to do a very, very quick basics overview so you know what settings are there and what they do. Nice to see at least some settings options available. You know, it's not the most robust in the world, but there's a few options there. Hopefully that helps. I'm very excited to dig into this game properly. Hope you enjoy.